Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Shtitera Sata Shri Śrimad Jidandi Goswami Shri Si Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivajikacharya Shtitera Sata Shri Śrimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrindi Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namacharya Shil Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Ganga Mai Ki Jai, Jamuna Mai Ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai, Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Śrimad Bhāgavatam Grantaraj Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Shri Radha Govinda Devi Ki Jai, Shri Gaurnitai Ki Jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, all glories to Shri Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're continuing our reading of Śrimad Bhāgavatam, the third canto. I'm going to use my computer because I can read it easier. Oops. And to our YouTube and other listeners, just an announcement that there'll be functions later today also for celebrating the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Maharaj, starting at 10 o'clock, I believe. So, let me go. So we have Śrimad Bhāgavatam 3, which is it? 3:22:9. And for those of you out there, it's very easy to just Google SB3 no, it's not coming. Okay. SB 3.22.9, and it comes database, and there it is. Okay. So, you have it there? Yeah. Priyavrato tanabhato svashesham duhita mama anvichati patim yuktam Vayashila Gunadivihi Priyavrato Tanabat Priyavrato Tanapado Svashesham Duhita Mama Anvichati Patim Yuktam Vayashila Gunadivihi. Others? Priyavrato Tanapado Svasheyam Duhita Mama Panapado Shashiyang Duhita Mama Anvichati Patin Yuktam Vayashila Gunadibihi Priyavrato Tanapado Shashesham Duhita Mama Anvichati Patin Yuktam Vayashila Gunadibihi. Ladies? Tanapado Shayam Duhita Mama Anvichati Patin Yuktam Vayashila Gunadibihi Tanapado Shayam Duhita Mama Anvichati Patim Yuktam Vayashila Gunadibihi Priyavrata Uttanapado. Of Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Shvasa, sister. Iyam, this. Duhita, daughter. Mama, my. Anvichati is seeking. Patim, husband. Yuktam, suited. Vayashila guna adibihi. By age, character, good qualities, etc. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. My daughter is the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanapad. She is seeking a suitable husband in terms of age, character, and good qualities. Purport. The grown-up daughter of Swayambhuva Manu, Devahuti, had good character and was well qualified. Therefore, she was searching for a suitable husband, just befitting her age, qualities, and character. The purpose of Manu's introducing his daughter as the sister of Priyavrata and Uttanapad, two great kings, was to convince the sage that the girl came from a great family. She was his daughter and at the same time the sister of Kshatriyas. She did not come from a lower class family. Manu therefore offered her to Kardama as just suitable for his purpose. It is clear that although the daughter was mature in age and qualities, she did not go out and find her husband independently. She expressed her desire
for a suitable husband, corresponding to her character, age, and quality, and the father himself, out of affection for his daughter, took charge of finding such a husband. Let me just... Om Ajnanatamrandasya Gyananjana Shlakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangalandayate Gurunjat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatayana Paramanamanda Madhava Shri Chaitanya Ishram. Hare Krishna. Please bless me to say a few words on this topic, and as well as other topics of today, being there's a lot of Vrindavan in today. there's Vrindavan Das Thakur's disappearance. There's Tulsi Vrinda Devi's Jaladan beginning. And there's our dear Kadambakananda Maharaj, a Vrindavan stalwart. There's a lot of Vrindavan today. So we'll touch upon these as well as today's Śrimad Bhāgavatam verse, where we're continuing this narration that leads up to the appearance of Kapila Dev and his instructions to Devahuti. But it begins with this conversation. Well, it begins actually with Kardama Muni's prayers and his efforts to achieve his desire to serve the Lord as a householder. He has the desire to serve the Lord as a householder, but he wants to serve the Lord in that way. It's interesting that he has a very specific agenda. He desires householder life. He desires to produce children. And then he desires to go. He desires to leave everything and dedicate himself to devotional service alone. So he's a very interesting personality. Achieves great things. He gets the direct darshan of Krishna. Krishna himself comes and speaks with him. And there's a whole dialogue in the previous chapter between Kardama and the Lord, in which the Lord assures him, yes, you will. It is coming. And so here Kardama is actually expecting Swayambhuva Manu to appear. He's been already told that this is all going to happen for him. So he's expecting. He doesn't reveal that. He doesn't in these verses. He doesn't say something. Well, I knew you were coming. The Lord appeared to me and told me. No, he doesn't reveal that. Rather, he receives Swayambhuva Manu, and as everything will unfold, how he graciously and gladly accepts Devahuti as his wife. So Swayambhuva, not knowing that Krishna had already made all these arrangements, he is, extolling the virtues of his daughter in order to win the confidence and win the approval of Kardama. He begins by describing her lineage, how she is not only his daughter, but the sister of two great kings. So she's in good company. She has the real qualities that Kardama would be looking for. Which is interesting because Kardama is a sage, he's a brahmana, he's accustomed to living actually quite austerely. And we'll find later on that Devahuti at one point gets a little, she's feeling she's grew up in a palace. She grew up as the daughter of the emperor of the world. Manu's position to me is still not very clear. Maybe one of you more elevated pundits will explain. He's described in this chapter as the emperor. We know he is one of the mind-born son, at least the first Manu. This is the first Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. He is the first Manu to be born of Brahma, and his children and their children and others, they become future Manus. I was calculating, curious to see, when the Manus, they live for 71 kalpas, 71 chaturyugas. That's a long time. It's a long, long time. One kalpa is 4,320,000 years, so 71 of those is something like, 300, you want to calculate there? It's somewhere in the billions. I think it was something like 3-4 billion years. I calculated that because we are right now in the Vaivasvata Manu's reign, and he's the 7th Manu, and don't think that have a great memory. I just looked this all up half an hour ago and I'll forget it by tomorrow. But anyway, he is our Manu. We're in the 7th age of Manu. And that means that 6 Manus have come before, and 6 times whatever that number was comes to 320 billion years, okay, something like that. So this is, the age of our universe, by the way, is a lot older than what the scientists think. Of course, the universe is created again and again every day of Brahma. The whole manifestation, everything comes out again. It's anyhow. And the Manus and so on. It's all a cycle, all going on. So anyhow, Manu, Swayambhuva Manu at this point, he is extolling the virtues of Devahuti. Extolling her virtues as her lineage, and then he goes on to describe that she is just suitable and the terms used here are Vaya, Shila, Guna, Adibihi. So Adi means etc. So her Vaya, and the translation Vaya, Shila, Guna. Her age. She's of the right age for Kardama. That's not exactly mentioned what that is, whether they're close to age. I don't think so. I think he's a bit older. But she's mature. Prabhupada describes her. She's mature. She's developed. She's not a little child. She's mature. We'll learn later on that she's quite educated as well. She's learned. In fact, this adibihi, good qualities, would include her education, her learning, her intelligence, her character. So, in this way, Manu is extolling the virtues of his daughter. It's also mentioned, Prabhupada mentions the that although, he says it very specifically, although the daughter was mature in age and quality, she did not go out and find her husband independently. Now, today that is more or less the manner of marriage, that men and women seek their companions independently. Of course, still, there are, in India particularly, and sometimes within our society, my wife and I are an example of arranged marriage. Our marriage was arranged by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, which is a whole other story. But we're very fortunate. And I think that very possibly that the fact that we agreed to marry on the basis of an arrangement by a great soul, I think has helped that our success in married life. So, because there's an attitude there, there's a certain attitude that is required to submit to the process of letting someone else choose your mate. In this case, this is, of course, generally the father's responsibility. So Manu, being, and it's described here, being very affectionate, out of affection, not out of some other plan. Sometimes we've seen that arranged marriages have been done out of politics. Okay, let's get our family together with that family, and that'll give us some more power in the world. And that's happened in the monarchies of Europe quite a lot. And sometimes with quite disastrous results when things didn't work out so well. Vis-a-vis King Henry, if you study his, and what was it, Catherine of Aragon? Who knows, I think that's Atita, right? Henry VIII, his first marriage was arranged, right, to Catherine. Mary, who was, King Henry's first wife was the Princess of Spain, and I think she was, what was her name? Mary? Or Catherine? Anyway, whatever. I'm not, I didn't look that up before. But because she didn't bear him children, it was the history is horrible, full of beheadings and so on. So when arranged marriages are done on the basis of politics, or perhaps on the basis of money, in India today, we have the horrible situation where you have marriages have been arranged, but somehow the dowry of the woman is insufficient, and the parents of the husband feel that this didn't work out, and they conspire and sometimes succeed to murder the bride. This is horrible things that take place on the basis of marriages, arranged marriages that are not based on affection, that are not based on full love for the children involved. But when it is based on full love, and when the attitude of both the bride and groom are based on surrender to the principle of good marriage and bringing people of the right compatibility and the right natures together, then we can see very good results. So the attitude of Devahuti was to trust her father, knowing her father's affection, to find her a suitable husband. And knowing that if she were to go out searching for her own husband, she may get misled by her female her emotional tendencies. So this is a very, you could say it's very cultured and it works if it's done properly. If it's not done properly, it can result in some awful things. So these were a few comments on this today's verse, but because today is also auspicious in other ways, beginning with the disappearance, I should say, of Vrindavan Das Thakur. We should mention something about him. We know Vrindavan Das Thakur primarily as the author of the Chaitanya Bhagavat. And we know about Chaitanya Bhagavat and Vrindavan Das Thakur primarily through Krishnadas Kaviraj and his Chaitanya Charitamrita. As we read Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj, we often come across his reference that I am not elaborating on this, I'm not saying something about this because Vrindavan Das Thakur, who he reveres as the Vyasa of Chaitanya Leela, has already described it in his Chaitanya Bhagavat. So we know, therefore, that Chaitanya Bhagavat precedes the Chaitanya Charitamrita. We know also, we understand from reading about it that Vrindavan Das Thakur initially titled his work the Chaitanya Mangal, but Lochan Das Thakur had titled his work Chaitanya Mangal, and I'm assuming, and I'm pretty sure, that Lochan Das Thakur's was also before Vrindavan Das Thakur. And then, so therefore he titled his Chaitanya Bhagavat, and then we have the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we have this series of books, and I can't wait to get, well, two books. One is Jayapataka Maharaj's compilation, where he draws from all of these texts, but I also understand that our dear Kadamba Kanana Maharaj was working on a similar text. Can you tell us, is someone taking over the completion of that?
Hare Krishna. Yes, His Holiness Swayam Bhagavan Keshava Maharaj. He will kind of become the principal of this project. It will take some time, because the way how Kadamba Kanana Maharaj wanted the things to be done, it will take some endeavors, but hopefully in a close future we will have this book.
Good things take time, that is for sure. But this will be a great gift, both of these will be a great gift to us, because we have access to Chaitanya Charitamrita, of course, and we have access to some extent to Chaitanya Bhagavat, but I don't know of any English translation of Chaitanya Mangal. Perhaps there is, and there's so many others. There's Murari Gupta's diaries. There's so much that has yet to be, and to bring it all together into one narrative will be really exciting. But in any case, Vrindavan Das Thakur was born, generally we accept that he was born in Mamgachi, which is a little village. Those of you who have come on Parikrama, I think, let's see, you've come on Parikrama. You've come on Parikrama. You have yet to come on Parikrama. You will come on Parikrama. May you come on Parikrama. May you come on Navadip Mandal Parikrama. May you all come on Navadip Mandal Parikrama and visit with us to the holy birthplace of Vrindavan Das Thakur in Mamgachi. Beautiful, beautiful place. Moda Druma Dweep is the Moda Druma. Druma means trees, and Moda is the joy that was experienced by Sri Ram, who lived there with Sita Devi in his part of his wanderings And there's all pastimes there. So Vrindavan Das Thakur was the son of Narayani. Narayani has special mention in Chaitanya Bhagavat, I believe, as she was the daughter of, I can't remember, one of Srivas Thakur's brothers. And Mahaprabhu had a special pastime with her when she was just 4 years old. And to demonstrate the power of Krishna Prema, how anyone can receive Krishna Prema. And he fed her some of his prasad and told her, now chant Hare Krishna. And Narayani became ecstatic in Krishna Prema and the holy names, and went on to become the mother of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So we have so much to thank Vrindavan Das Thakur for, because he brought out the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and of Nityananda. Vrindavan Das Thakur was so attached to Nitai, to Nityananda. He spends, in fact, therefore, much of his Chaitanya Bhagavat is also glorification and pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. So on both accounts, we have much to thank Vrindavan Das Thakur. Today is also the beginning of Tulsi Jaladhan. I don't know if we're not in the same climate as Tulsi's natural Vrindavan abode. But if any of you were to be in Vrindavan today, I don't, someone could look it up, but I think it must be somewhere in the 110, 115, that area of temperature. Very hot and pretty dry as well. So with the oncoming season, and because of, I was trying to see if there was any other esoteric reason for Tulsi Jaladhan to begin at this time, and I didn't find anything. Maybe somebody will find something esoteric. But otherwise, it's simply to relieve, to provide. And what happens is that a pot is suspended over Tulsi with a little hole filled with water so that there's a constant drip of water on Tulsi. This is Tulsi Jaladhan. We might take the opportunity then to reflect on Tulsi Devi herself. Tulsi Devi is, as we sing every morning, she is all auspicious. Her appearance and her story is also quite interesting. Although there are multiple stories of how Vrinda Devi, who is the original or the personality of Tulsi, every morning when we perform the Tulsi puja, we will sing Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi, Jaya Vrinda Devi. Because Vrinda, she takes this form in this world. And who is Vrinda? Vrinda is extraordinarily important in Krishna's Leela, because she arranges the environment for the loving pastimes and affairs of Radha and Krishna. There's much that can be said, and I don't remember that much about Vrinda's her history, so to speak, of how she becomes, how the Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is named for Vrinda. It's not that Vrinda's named for Vrindavan. Vrindavana, the forest that is named for Vrinda Devi. So she is the original goddess of this forest. She And as such, she has actual control over this entire forest of Vrindavan. On her order, as Krishna moves about, the plants, the trees, the birds, they all follow her order to make a pleasing environment. She gives them with her special parrots that she has as her messengers. She sends them forth and says, "Hey, Krishna's coming, Krishna's coming. Get ready, get ready." And when they are, before Krishna comes, they're kind of like, "Oh, when's Krishna coming? Oh, when's Krishna coming?" The trees may be a little droopy, and the flowers are kind of curled up, and the birds, and they're just kind of sitting there waiting and waiting, and then they hear, "Krishna's coming, and they come to life, and the flowers bloom, and the bees sing, and the trees come, everyone just comes to life to greet Krishna. And this is all Vrinda's arrangement. Vrinda the most spectacular of Vrinda's accomplishments is narrated, that I know of, is narrated in a wonderful play called Madhav Mahotsav. I think that's Madhava Mahotsava, which is written by Rupa Goswami, I believe, right? Or Jiva. No, Jiva. Jiva writes this. Jiva Goswami wrote this drama on the order of Rupa, I believe. Because in Rupa, in his, and I'm getting into all this, I hope it's okay, but all this kind of transcendental, esoteria. So in Rupa's Dhanakela comedy, in his which is also a play, right? It's a drama. In Dhanakela comedy, if you're familiar, the pastime is the tax collection, where Krishna bars the way of the gopis and says, "I represent the king, and you're carrying all this expensive and all this yogurt and ghee and all these products, you have to pay your taxes." And this goes back and forth. And at one point, Purnamasi exclaims, "Wait a minute! You are thinking you can collect taxes, but who is before you, Sri Radha? You don't know? She's the queen of Vrindavan. So she should be collecting taxes from you." So this statement is there. So at one point, Rupa asks Jiva to elaborate on how Sri Radha becomes the queen of Vrindavan. And that is a narration called the Madhav Mahotsav, in which Sri Radha is coronated as the queen of Vrindavan. And in order to prepare for that coronation, Vrindadevi creates, we've heard of her, the kunjas we just sung about, Kunja Bihari, how Radha Madhava enjoy their pastimes in kunjas, in groves. Now, those of you who have been to Vrindavan, you've been to Vrindavan, may you come to Vrindavan, may you come to Vrindavan. You'll see these kunjas, you'll see these groves of trees that have bent over and created little bowers of sitting places where someone could sit and have a little shade and so on. Of course, what we see today is just a reflection of the kunjas that Radha and Krishna would enjoy. But the kunj that Vrinda Devi created for Sri Radha's coronation was out of this world. Just indescribable. All the varieties of trees, all the varieties of fruits, all the intertwining and the rooms. It was a central room created with the 8 different side rooms, and just this amazing architectural achievement that was created simply by growing trees. Trees that, under her command, by her order, moved their branches, not by some whims of, nature's, like we see today, the trees, how their branches grow, is mostly formed by the environment, the climate. Okay, the sun goes here, I'll go over there. The wind blows here, I'll go over there. So, just kind of at the mercy of nature, the trees, and they grow in their particular way. But these trees are fully in control. They know they can do whatever. They can move a branch this way, that way, intertwine this way, that way, and they create. Not like the masons who pile bricks and make buildings. No, these trees themselves grow into a beautiful palace. So this is Vrinda. This is Vrinda's service, to create these wonderful, beautiful environments, very dear to Sri Radha. And so merciful, so compassionate, that she comes to this world, to our world. She lives with us. She accepts this form as Tulsi Devi, that she can live with us, that we can serve her. She lives here for our service, or to give us opportunity, to give us her blessings, but also so that she can serve Shri Radha Govinda, so that she can offer her leaves to Shri Radha Govinda, and we can assist her in that service. So today we can remember something of Vrinda Devi's mercy on us. And we'll end with just a few thoughts, because we'll have another program later today where we can talk more extensively about His Holiness Kadambakananda Maharaj. But for those who may not tune in later on or are not present, I'd just like to offer my personal gratitude to His Holiness for his inspiring life. His life is quite extraordinary, how he traveled to India as a young man, how he found Krishna consciousness, how he dedicated himself to Krishna consciousness, how he took on so many challenges, how he faced so many obstacles. He took a bullet for Krishna, which is quite extraordinary. He was willing to face life-threatening, not, like going to war, so to speak. The environment that he encountered in Vrindavan at one point required a kind of war in order to cleanse it. And he and Hansarupa also, Prabhu, were instrumental in cleansing the Krishna Balaram Mandir of those influences. But it was not easy. And throughout his life, he never shirked from a challenge. And I have to say that he's a great loss for us, because we are here in New York faced with one of the greatest challenges, how to spread Krishna consciousness in this great city, and how to transform, I could say maybe, we sometimes term our service here as invoking a renaissance of ISKCON New York. Both my wife, Atita Guna, and I have some personal experience of New York in the 70s, ISKCON New York, I should say, in the 70s, and how dynamic and vibrant our community was at that time. And I feel that we're in a different time, different age, and our vibrancy and dynamism will take perhaps a different shape, but I can see already that the seeds have been planted and are growing, and very much credit has to go to His Holiness Kadamba Maharaj, who in the first months of the new management arrangement here came to help Hansarupa, and together they've done so much to stimulate. And so in that spirit of gratitude, but also in the spirit of honoring his service, and I understand perhaps his last word, someone said, that his last spoken word took place, this is, maybe you can correct me if I have this wrong, but I understand that he was, a few days prior to his leaving his mortal, physical body, he was not able to speak really, but at one point, but was conscious. He was still fully conscious, and motioned to, I think Jayadvaita Maharaj was there, and perhaps someone else, to come closer. And he just one word came out: mission. Is that correct? Mission. He was always focused on the mission of Srila Prabhupada, mission of our Sampradaya, mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I hope that that word can also find its place securely in our hearts, that we are here to serve a mission. This is a society for something. We're an international society for Krishna consciousness. We're a movement, the Hare Krishna movement. We are a mission. We're the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to fulfill his order, Prithivite Ache Jatanagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Hoive Moranam. That the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will go to every town and village. It will enter into every ear, and it will take root, and by our service we may help for it to flourish and spread. So we have a mission. Let us all be dedicated, try to dedicate, to match Kadamba Maharaj's dedication to mission. All right, that's a high bar, but we can strive. We can all strive to assist at least in that mission. So, if there's any other, in regards to Kadamba Maharaj, there'll be the program will start at 10 o'clock. 10:30. Okay. At 10:30, we'll gather here. 10 o'clock? Okay, it was listed as 10 o'clock. Okay. So devotees can gather here at 10 o'clock. There'll be opportunity to speak and to remember. I'm sure and there'll be a time to offer a pushpanjali, etc. And I assume there'll also be a feast, or some at 1:30. So those of you out there, if you can manage to come, please do. Will it be broadcast? Yes. Okay. Okay, so you can tune in as well. Any questions, comments on other topics that we spoke of? We just have a few minutes. You're okay? Good? All right. Thank you so much. Jai, Jai, Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai, Tulsi Maharani Vrindadevi ki Jai, His Holiness Kadambakanana Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.